He didn't have to break him down like that, though. Yeah. What's the name of this anime?
It's called Code Geass.
I like it. Hey, y'all. Oh, shit. Hold on. Hey. So I'm going to be talking about Pluto retrograde tonight. This is probably going to be a really long live, but I'm going to make it as interesting as possible. Hold on. Okay, where are we? Okay, cool. How are y'all feeling? I'll let some more people come in. Thank you. I love this necklace too. How have y'all been feeling? I know for me personally, for the last 2 days, it's been a doozy for me energetically. A lot of my fears and self-doubt have definitely came out, which is sometimes very like disheartening and disappointing when you have a momentum and you're excited and you feel like you're good, and then all of a sudden, like out of nowhere, you just have these fears that creep in and you're like, damn. My dreams are ridiculously lucid. Yeah, dreams. I had a dream last night, y'all, that I met my soulmate and he asked me to marry him. I ain't never had no dream like that before. Personally, my intuition been really on point, but overall, my outer world is crazy. So hopefully, this PowerPoint will help y'all to cope a little bit better and know that a lot of things that we feel are not your own energy. As I said before, we are affected by planetary energies. So we be feeling shit that's sometimes not our own, or things that we have suppressed, and it comes out and we're like, damn, I thought that I healed from that. I thought I was over that. But anytime we deal with retrogrades just kind of show us like a progress report. How are we going to react to these feelings, these lower feelings and energies and emotions that we're feeling? How are we thinking about it? And so Pluto retrograde is definitely going to do that, which starts in a few days. What's today, the 28th? How many days is it in April? Day? Okay. Very low energy, not wanting to... 30 days? Okay, cool. So in a few days. Yeah. So hopefully after this little PowerPoint I put together, y'all can cope better, because this Pluto retrograde is definitely about us integrating the shadow. And I'm going to be referencing a book called Sacred Contracts by Carolyn Miss. She breaks down the archetypes that I posted in my video earlier today for the reading that I did. 30 what? Very low energy, not wanting to deal with today's task. Let's see, my dreams. Yeah, I had a dream that I met my soulmate last night. Shares live with 3 of your friends. I think, yeah. Yeah. So, 30 days in this month. Oh, okay. I was like, 30 what? What you mean? So, yeah. So, we have Pluto retrograde coming up on May 1st. And Pluto is that death and rebirth energy. It's a transformative energy. And Pluto rules naturally rules the sign Scorpio. So this is going to be dealing with depth. This is going to be dealing with emotions, like deep, deep emotions in our subconscious mind that we typically try to avoid, feelings that we don't really want to feel, fears that we don't really want to face. But the only way that we can reach a level of spiritual maturity is if we face our shadow. So Pluto retrograde is going to be about shadow work, shadow energy. And I thought I did a post about this a couple weeks ago about Pluto going into Aquarius. So Pluto has not been in Aquarius since 1798. It's a long time ago. Yeah, since 1798. And so we're going to go over what themes happen around this time when Pluto was in Aquarius in 1798, because there was a lot of major shifts that happened collectively, being that Aquarius rules the collective. Okay? So the first slide we have is Pluto retrograde is a period of time when the planet Pluto appears to move backwards through the sky in relation to Earth. This occurs when Earth is passing Pluto in its orbit, making it seem as though Pluto is moving in the opposite direction. Astrologically, Pluto is often associated with transformation, power, control, and rebirth. Okay? Let me go. Y'all know I love doing me a good PowerPoint for y'all. Hold on. Choose a different one. Where we at? Is this the one I want to do? Okay. Y'all take screenshots of this also. I'm going to post it on my page, but it's just cool for y'all to take screenshots if you can. So, in astrology, Pluto is closely associated with the transformation, power, and intensity. In your birth chart, it represents the energy of the unconscious mind and deep soul transformation and immense power struggles within ourselves and with others. Pluto is also known to reveal secrets and hidden truths that can lead to personal transformation. So these are some of the themes that we will see during Pluto retrograde. And Pluto will be in retrograde for the next 4 months. It starts on May 1st and it's going to stay there for 4 months. So this will be like a slow and subtle, thing that we start to feel. But what I notice is that whenever we have a new astrological transit, it starts to affect us energetically before it actually gets into that sign or placement. You get what I'm trying to say. So a lot of people might be feeling like, damn, like I'm just feeling weird. I feel tired. I feel irritated. I feel sad. I feel like I have a lot of like just purging that's going on, and it's because we're going into a different astrological alignment, and it's all dealing with these themes that you see on this little PowerPoint, this little picture I put up here. So reveals hidden secrets and hidden truths that can lead to personal transformation. It is the ruler of Scorpio, the sign known for its intense emotional depth and powerful transformation abilities. Pluto is known for its slow and powerful movement in the sky, which takes approximately 248 Earth years to complete one orbit around the sun. Its small size, I know this is all kind of like nerdy, so y'all could just take a screenshot of this, but I wanted to give y'all like a little back history of whatever. So yeah, and I chose to be funny and put future on all of my slides because he calls himself Pluto, which is ironic because he is a Scorpio. And so it's like he knows what he's doing to call himself that or refer to himself as that. And also to know that he is toxic because that is the lower energy of Scorpio. Like all of the memes that y'all see about it is so in alignment with what Pluto represents at its lower and higher nature. And then that goes to show that like a lot of people, celebrities or stars that are chosen, they know their astrological charts and how to make them stars. As I've said on other lives that I've done, a lot of celebrities have either 5th house or 11th house placement, which is, or a Leo or Aquarius placements in their chart. I never looked at Future's chart before. I know for sure that he's a Scorpio. but he might have like some stuff in the 11th house or the 5th house, or even have degrees that are ruled by Leo and Aquarius, which is like how celebrities pretty much become stars, because those are star placements in the chart. Okay, now we'll go to the next one. Let me see. I got these nails, y'all. I'm trying not to mess up. Hold on. Okay. So, this is Pluto retrograde can be a powerful time for personal transformation, as a retrograde Pluto is associated with destruction and rebuilding of systems and power. So whatever you go through during this time, or whatever you're feeling right now, if it feels destructive, if it feels, and it might not be that dramatic. Like for me, like I said, for the last 2 days, I've had a lot of just fears around certain things, and themes about, you know, what Pluto is transiting in my chart come up. So I'm like, damn, I had all this momentum and I was like super excited about things. And all of a sudden in the middle of the night, I found myself just like questioning everything. Like, am I really doing this right? Like, does this really make sense? Like, I really went through a lot of imposter syndrome through the last 2 nights. Today was probably the first day that I felt like kind of decent-ish. But yeah, the last 2 days was crazy. Has anybody else felt that way within the last 2 days, or like, hi, or is feeling that way right now? All right, so in astrology, the retrograde motion of the planet is believed to amplify its energy and influence. It turns its energy inward and redirects it towards the subconscious. So this is why I said this Pluto retrograde is dealing with depth. It's not like Mercury retrograde. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is Mercury retrograde. That's something that we're used to. We're used to, okay, technology might mess up, communication might mess up, travel might be kind of fucked up. But with Pluto, this is a bit deeper and it lasts a little bit longer. So these are like what's hidden, your hidden fears. And it might not be obvious to the naked eye. Like, not everybody is going to be transparent and honest about the things that they are dealing with, that they fear. And based on your astrology transits, which I did a post, and I don't know why, you know, I don't think that a lot of y'all get to see my post for some reason. But this is why I put what transits are and how that works in your chart. So it shows what house Pluto is transiting in your chart specifically. So there's going to be a theme behind that. So like if you have Pluto transiting your first house, then Pluto retrograde might be having you face things dealing with your identity. You might be feeling like you're going through an identity crisis right now. Like, who am I? What am I supposed to be doing? If it's going through your 4th house, you might have crisis around your home and stability. It could be needing to move, or it could be dealing with something with your family. If it's in your what else? If it's in your 10th house, this could be dealing with your career. This could be dealing with your status and your relationship to power. Let me see. I had some interesting dreams over the last couple of days. Everybody's having interesting dreams because it's dealing with the subconscious mind. Definitely, especially within the dream space. Yeah, so hey y'all. Yeah, definitely a lot of intense dreams would probably happen around this time too, because that is things that is in your subconscious mind. So your dreams might come out and seem kind of weird, or they might be very vivid, they may be really realistic, but it's something that is hidden in your subconscious mind that's coming out in the dream realm. And you might be doing work in the dream realm at this time because of Pluto retrograde. Or it might be foretelling of what, you know, the things that you're going to be experiencing. Like I said, my dream last night was I found my soulmate, and he asked me to marry him. And Pluto is transiting my 7th house, which deals with relationships, ironically enough. Anywho, so, damn. Okay, so, where am I? This is an especially powerful time for deep self-reflection and transformation. It is a time when buried emotions, fears, and traumas can surface, making it especially challenging but rewarding for personal growth. So, although those things kind of sound scary, think about it as this is a time of like growth and transformation. It's kind of like the Tower card in the tarot deck. Things have to be revealed so that you can see where everything is at. You have to bring light into the dark so you can know what you're dealing with, what energy signature you're in on. And so that can seem pretty terrifying in the beginning, you know, that could be really scary, but it's necessary in order for you to move forward and have peace of mind and clarity. So this is going to be a time of clarification. I like that. I never seem to remember my dreams anymore, and I wonder what that can mean for me. You can drink Blue Lotus tea, and that might help you with your dreams. And there are certain crystals that you can put in your room that might help you with your dream world as well. Sometimes, and I don't know if you smoke or anything like that, but sometimes people don't always experience or know what. Oh my gosh, no way. That's hilarious. Can also hinder or suppress some of your dreams too. Any 8th house placements here? Yes. Okay, so y'all took a screenshot of that. Okay, hello? Hello. I think I might have... Can y'all hear me? Let me know if y'all can hear me now. Let me know if y'all can hear me. Okay, cool. So, I don't know what last part y'all heard, but I was saying that somebody had said that they had a dream about a vampire. So I was saying don't think about the dream in a literal aspect. Think about, what words did the vampire say? What colors did you hear? What feelings did you feel? Sometimes you might have a dream about that, vampire, but it might have had the energy of a friend that you know, or something like that. Like, because your mind is trying to decode something that you have suppressed, and so it might come out in a way that doesn't make sense in your dream, but you have to use your other senses to decode the dream. So it's not always like literal. And then once you get used to decoding things, and I think that, your dreams will start to become a little bit more like, make a little bit more sense to you. patience to read. I am doing a tarot class for 3 days coming up on May 8th. Have the patience to read. And I will be doing a PowerPoint for that. So I'll be doing more talking than you're reading. That part where you left off was right before you switched to the other side. I do remember everything about the vampire dream. Yeah, so if you remember everything, then write those key things down. The colors, the smells, the words that were being said. What else did you see? What feeling did you feel, when you had that dream? So, and then on another way, that could be that you have, energy suckers in your life. People who want to take your energy away from you. And it might have shown up and manifested in your dream. It's like you got things in your life that are sucking the life out of you if it was chasing you. So in your real life, you got to cut some things off that you feel drain you and don't make you feel, great about yourself. Make you feel down. I said that on my last live. Sometimes we have people in our lives that they aren't bad themselves, but because they aren't aware of themselves or aren't aware of the shadow work that they need to do, they have entities on them, and those entities can be really draining, really toxic, really depressing, and all of those things. And when you're aware, then you're like, I'm not agreeing to do this with you. I'm not going to trauma bond with you. We're not doing that. I used to stay getting chased. It was exhausting. I admire you, and I'm going to book a reading soon. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. So, Pluto retrograde challenges. And thank y'all for the feedback tonight. What's good? It's Friday night, and we here learning. We ain't out partying. We're here learning so that we can be better, okay? So, Pluto retrograde challenges. Pluto retrograde can be a challenging time for people, as it often involves confronting fears. So pay attention to your dreams in that way. What fears are coming up within your dreams right now? What fears are coming up in your mind? What fears when you're alone by yourself and it's quiet? Like, what fears start to arise during this time? Dealing with the shadow self and releasing old patterns. One of the biggest challenges people face during Pluto retrograde is the intensity of their emotions. This period brings deep-seated feelings to the surface, which can be overwhelming and difficult to manage. So pay attention to the fears that come up for you at this time. Maybe you have relationship commitment fears. Maybe you have survival fears as far as when it comes to money. You have a lack mindset. You want to hold on to money, or you feel like you don't have enough money. And whatever those fears are, because that's dealing with your shadow, you want to be able to face that, because honestly, you cannot really manifest the things that you want in the life that you want if you do not do shadow work. Those things go hand in hand, to be honest with you, especially like not something positive that you want. So look at Pluto retrograde as a time of, I need to do this shadow work because I'm clearing out old energy. I'm clearing out stagnant energy so that I'm able to manifest the things that I want. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said on my video earlier, we can get into that self-sabotage energy and repel the things that we really want for ourselves. Or we're manifesting from such a low place that we're not really asking for much because we're afraid to ask for more. So this is going to be a beautiful time to do the shadow work that we need so that we can clear it out and manifest. And things start to happen instantly when you do intentional work, when you do intentional shadow work, which we will get into. And it's like eating at me. I really am trying hard. So, and you know, there's steps to getting that lower energy off of you. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes for me, I really love, it sounds corny maybe, I don't know, but I really love speaking affirmations over and over until I literally feel that in my body until my vibration starts to raise. Sometimes I can say the same things over and over. Like, I have beautiful, amazing, abundant opportunities that are coming to me, and I might be feeling low when I first say it. I might have to say that damn near 100 times before I'm feeling hype and I'm excited, and I can literally feel energy starting to shift around me, you know, and then that just like gives me a higher frequency going throughout my day. But that's me intentionally taking time to do those things, grounding yourself, going out into nature, just doing anything that's intentional with your rituals and things. Okay. Let me see. All right, so I hope y'all took a screenshot of that slide. Come on now. Your girl is a teacher out here. All right, hold on.
You needn't interfere. If he's not sure of himself, let him challenge me.
Okay, guys, time to raise
Okay. So these are some other challenges that could come up. At this time, y'all can take a screenshot of this too. Pluto retrograde often involves facing one's own shadow self, the parts of oneself that are usually kept hidden, repressed, or denied. This can be I should have put my phone on Do Not Disturb. I hope nobody calls me. Okay. This could be a difficult time, an uncomfortable process, as it requires individuals to confront aspects of themselves that they may not want to acknowledge. Again, that could be a very hard, uncomfortable thing, but you cannot manifest the things that you want if you're not doing the work that you need to do. Okay? Releasing old patterns and behaviors can also be challenging during Pluto retrograde. Individuals may find themselves confronting deeply ingrained habits and thought patterns that no longer serve them, but are difficult to let go of. This may involve a period of discomfort or upheaval as individuals work to release these old patterns and make room for more. So that's pretty self-explanatory. Releasing old things that no longer serve you. So for the person who said that they had the dream about the vampire, that might be you have energy suckers in your life, people with that vampire type of energy taking your life force, taking your essence away from you. And maybe in your waking life, you're in denial of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want to be nice and you don't want to think this way about this person. And like I said, it's not necessarily the person, it's the entity that is on that person because they have not done the work that they need to do. So sometimes you might have to separate yourself. And when you're doing shadow work, that is something that is necessary. Separation on purpose, you know, just to figure out what energy is your own, what belongs to me and what does not belong to me. How can I strengthen myself before I am spreading myself thin to all of these other sources around me? I feel like when I released my drug addiction, I feel like I confronted my shadow, but I'm still dealing with consequences health-wise. Thank you for sharing that, first of all. I appreciate you being transparent and sharing that. And we're going to get into the different shadow archetypes, which one of them is addiction. In this live tonight. So yeah, thank you for sharing that. That's major. That's major that you were able to overcome that. Like, for real. That's incredible. Because I know that could be difficult. Letting go of anything when it comes to addiction or just anything with your shadow could be hard because, like I said, your parents or whoever raised you are your first gods, or they could be your first devils, and they create heaven or hell for you. And based off of that, you know, if you come from a childhood that wasn't that beautiful, then you can get used to finding comfort in chaos. And then you just kind of grow up in that energy and think that that's normal. And then you go around and you're inflicting your ways onto other people because the space in which you were raised in created a hellish type of environment. It created a shadow type of environment, and your shadow creates an ego to keep that going because you've already experienced such pain when you were younger. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be easier to stay in your shadow element because that's how you were raised. You don't know that that's wrong. You know what I'm saying? That's going to be comfortable. Even if it hurts, it can still feel comfortable for you because that's what you're used to. So to be able to step out and be like, I'm going to intentionally fix this because I'm starting to sabotage myself, my life, and my relationships around me. I want to experience a different energy. And if we are reflections of each other, then you are only going to attract what you are. So you over here, you know, taking your chaotic environment that you grew up in, and then you're attracting more people who have that same type of energy. Every now and then, angels get sprinkled in to help you. But you're attracting that same type of energy, and then it's just hurt people over and over. And there is no growth until spirit wakes you up and it's like, no, it got to be something different. You want to experience something different from people now. You know what I'm saying? You deserve to be loved regardless of the environment that you grew up in as a child. And that shows in your astrology chart. That's why I be saying it's important for y'all to understand y'all's astrology, which I am going to be rolling out an astrology class with me. Or you can get an astrology reading with me. But it's not even about me trying to sell something to you guys. You can learn how to read your astrology chart on your own. It's a lot of information, and you can never really master astrology. But looking at your chart really does help you to understand, I was born into this type of family because these are the obstacles that I have to overcome to set my bloodline free. You know what I'm saying? I got the call to do better. I got the call to whatever so that I can set my bloodline free. And I noticed that in our generation, a lot of us are getting that call to liberate the ones that came before us, to liberate our ancestors. So Pluto retrograde could be a time for that too. Please, can you turn off the comments for a minute so I can read this pic? Oh, okay. How do I turn off the comments, y'all? Dave, do you know how to? No, you don't. Give me instructions on how to turn off the comments because I didn't even know. My bad. Is it? Hold on.
It's no wonder Toto held off the Britannians once before without a single nightmare. Now I only have to wait for Euphemia to receive.
Oh, there it goes. Okay, I turned off the comments. I'll turn them back on in a minute, you guys. Y'all can keep putting messages in and let me know. Well, shit, I can't see. I will put the other ones up, but this is also going to be on my page too, so don't even worry about it. All right, let's go to the next one. Is this the one I just did? It's not. Okay. So, another challenge during Pluto retrograde is a tendency towards power struggles and control issues. Pluto is associated with power, and individuals may find themselves in situations where they either are trying to assert their power or feeling others trying to assert power over them. Now, to me, this is about the collective and just what we're seeing going on in the world right now because Pluto is an Aquarius, which rules the community. So there might be power struggles there. And power struggles, of course, on technology because Aquarius also rules technology as well and advancement in technology. And we do see more restrictions when it comes to social media and what, you know, they want us to be able to see and share and all of those things. Pluto retrograde can be challenging but rewarding time. By confronting fears, releasing patterns, and dealing with the shadow self, individuals can experience powerful personal growth and transformation. So, because we're talking about power struggles, really get into your sacral chakra work because that's going to be dealing with your relationship to power. So, are you somebody who inflicts or tries to put power over other people? If so, where does that come from? Is it because you feel like you need to be controlling because you don't like feeling out of control? Or are you somebody who allows people to control them and put power over them, and it's because of a lack of self-worth and value? Either way, get into your sacral chakra work. There are lots of, if you go on YouTube, there are lots of sacral chakra meditations that you can do, and just journaling about that. That's the main journal prompt on that, is what is my relationship to power? What situations have made me feel the most powerless, and what situations have I been in where I manipulated a situation for power and for control? Okay. Hope y'all got a screenshot of that. Okay. All right, so now we're gonna go into how Pluto retrograde represents, a great opportunity for personal growth. Take a screenshot of that. There are several areas of your life where these opportunities can manifest. One of the areas where people may experience opportunities during Pluto retrograde is in financial advancements. Pluto is associated with wealth. So I just researched that Pluto used to be called, I'm going to say it used to be called wealth, but it deals with the underworld and things of that nature. Pluto is associated with wealth and abundance. So think about, like, how do I want to put it? Because Pluto rules Scorpio, think about, if y'all know anything about astrology, Scorpio is a very all or nothing type of energy, and it deals with other people's resources. So this is like a placement of being blessed with wealth in some type of way, whether it's financial or whatever you want a lot of, like that could be this. So it's not all completely scary, but again, Pluto is like, we got to destruct all of that bullshit. You got to do shadow work in order to get on the other side, to be able to embrace wealth of any sort. So it's just a necessary process. Abundance, indicating that this may be a good time to focus on financial planning and investing. Career transitions are also a possibility during Pluto retrograde. This may involve leaving behind a perceived position of power and embracing new opportunities that may be outside of one's comfort zone. Pluto's energy can help clear away any obstacles that may be... Hold on, I'm trying to read this on my laptop. Stop. That may be outside comfort zone. Pluto's energy can help clear... Why is it doing this? Don't be embarrassing me like this. The greater success for growth is what it says. So, yeah, this is, like I said, another thing that is necessary. So, let's see. We're almost to the part where we talk about shadow work, you guys. And y'all see the meme that I use. I just love that Future decided to call himself Pluto. That's so tight. Hold on. Okay. It says, the meme says, you're not the problem. You've never been the problem. So this is also a time of spiritual growth. Another area where Pluto retrograde can be transformative. This period encourages individuals to confront the depths of their subconscious, exploring areas of the mind that may have previously been ignored or suppressed. This can lead to personal epiphanies and spiritual awakenings. Spiritual awakenings, that might be tough for some people, but spiritual awakenings is basically leveling up on consciousness. So again, that's more clearing out old stuff, which can seem very traumatic and hard in order for you to level up to the next area in your life. Let's see. This can lead to personal epiphanies, spiritual awakenings, creating a deeper sense of meaning and purpose in one's life. Overall, Pluto retrograde brings great opportunities for personal growth and transformation by allowing oneself to confront deep-seated fears and release old patterns and explore new paths and all of that good stuff. Hope y'all got a screenshot of that. Let's see, what are we going to next? Okay, so now we're going to get into the archetypes. Is that what no, that's not it. Hold on. Actually, no, I'll keep it on this one for now. So the last time that Pluto was in Aquarius and also in retrograde was in 1798. So these are the things that happened. This is important. Take a screenshot of this because this is really good for, you know, history repeating itself, as they say, because it's following an astrological alignment. So this is what last happened when Pluto was in Aquarius in 1798, and we probably will see similar things happen during this time when it comes to, you know, the higher ups in the world and all of the stuff that's going on. Okay? And also just innovation, because Pluto in Aquarius is dealing with technology. So we're seeing crazy advancements with AI, of course, you know. But when you know stuff like this, then you can use it instead of being used by it. You feel me? Can y'all hear the anime playing in the background? Okay, I have one more long paragraph about Pluto retrograde. Y'all take a screenshot of it. I won't read all the way through it, and then we'll get into the other stuff. Is it this one? Okay, so Pluto retrograde in Aquarius is associated with themes related to transformation, revolution, because Aquarius rules community, right? Revolution and individuality as well within a collective context. Here are some of the prominent themes that may be highlighted during this period. Personal transformation. I'm not going to read the whole thing. Collective consciousness. So a lot of our consciousness might be being raised during this time. Seeing things for what they really are. Innovation and progress. So we'll see more things with technology that are starting to advance during this time. Power struggles, of course. And then rebellion and unconventional thinking. So that's basically questioning everything around us that we thought was something. And, you know, yeah. So do what y'all want with this right here. But you can use that for your personal just observations when looking at what's going on in the world, so that you're not caught off guard or surprised. Like, I didn't even think that this could happen, but you have the tools and the information here to show you what themes might, you know, go down. Okay. So now we're going to get into some shadow work stuff. Where is the shadow work? Hold on. Okay, so earlier on my video, when I pulled the Chariot card, which is perfect for the theme of today, I talked about archetypes that when dealing with your dealing with your shadow, what that looks like. And this comes from the author Caroline Myss. She has a book called Sacred Contracts that I love. I have used this book for one of my classes that I taught when I had a women's class called Ecosystem, and I recommended that everyone got this book because it merges astrology with psychology and just all the things, and it really is great. So these are the main 4 archetypes that we're going to get into. Maybe I can move myself. No, this is not. Okay. So, Hold on, let me read it. Come here. I cannot see. Okay. Okay. An archetype can be described as a pattern of behavior that makes up your personality. It helps you live your life to its fullest by providing the foundation of ourselves. We all carry 4 basic archetypes. So to me, these archetypes can be our ego. Our ego is not always necessarily bad. Our ego was created or has been created for protection sometimes. So like I said, depending on how you grew up, your parents or your caretakers created heaven or hell for you. And based off of that, you created an ego to learn how to survive. And your ego is basically your mask. And you wear this mask all throughout your life because this is how you feel like you're able to keep yourself intact so that you don't get hurt. But a part of doing shadow work is letting that mask down so that you're able to be vulnerable and you're able to grow and you're able to connect with other people. Because when you're rolling around with this ego, it's really hard to be able to connect and have true, genuine relationships and friendships with people. And this is something that I have been implementing and learning myself. I think that, and it talks about it in this book too, that people who are healers or teachers or whatever, I think that it's really hard for people to think that, oh, well, you shouldn't be dealing with this because you teach this or you do this. And that's like, that's not realistic. Like, everybody has, you know, their ego and traumas and things that they're healing from and different masks that they wear, because it's just human nature to not want to be hurt and to be afraid and all of those things. So the first one is the child. This says longs to be lighthearted, innocent, and expectant of the wonders of tomorrow, has a playful quality at times, and can bring out parental quality in others, to communicate, will retreat after a disagreement. So again, this could be you retreating into that childlike energy. So there's good things about having this child archetype, but there could be bad things that self-sabotage you because you might not want to communicate all the time. If there's a disagreement, you might retreat into that childlike energy because you're afraid of disappointing somebody because the environment that you grew up in. Let me turn on the comments because okay, please can you turn on? Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, so you might retreat into a childlike nature because when you were younger, maybe, you know, you were told to stay in a child's place, or you were told not to talk back, or you were told not to have an opinion about something. And because you never really like transition over or learn how to find your power and trust yourself, me and my sister, hopefully she don't get mad, was just talking about that, you know, having parents who don't necessarily allow you to trust yourself or even for you to make mistakes because they're projecting their fears onto you. So they're constantly keeping you in a cycle of being a child in a child state. And so as an adult, you're having those types of relationships with people, whether it's your work relationships with your boss, or it's your love relationships, or it's your friendships, not really trusting yourself and retreating and not being able to, you know, advocate for yourself properly. Waiting for somebody to come and be the parent and to rescue you when you are now that. Okay. Thank you for buying a badge. I appreciate that. The next one is the victim archetype, which I think a lot of us have. I had to learn this myself, okay? I won't even bring that up right now. Anyways, the victim does not take responsibility for their own well-being or happiness, can bring out the need in you to develop self-esteem, stand up and take care of yourself. So the victim archetype can be, woe is me, you know, all these things happen to me and this is why I can't. And there's nothing wrong with that, because a lot of times we have been put in positions where we have been victims. There have been terrible things that a lot of us have experienced throughout our lives, and you are absolutely a victim of something that was out of your control. But you do not have to identify with that for the rest of your life. That was a chapter in your book. That is not your whole book. when you start to make that victim life your whole book, then you are really stagnating yourself. You're not able to move and grow and elevate the way that you need to, because it's always going to be, I have all these other things that happen to me and this is why I can't be. I even see that with people who are getting into their, or know their astrology chart. Like, oh, well, my chart says this and so this is why I'm like this. It's like, no, you're not a victim of the stars, okay? Your chart is for you to learn how to overcome your lower self. That is the whole mission. Is your astrology chart is like your personal Bible. That is your blueprint in order to elevate. It is not a way for you to make excuses for toxic or negative or low behavior. It is not an excuse to not try and to not elevate and to not grow. So that is the same with this victim mindset. That is a chapter. That is not your whole book. You have power and you have to learn how to call your power back, which goes into doing sacral, your sign is that, doing sacral work can really help with you helping to call your power back. And I also wrote a meditation that I did, because I started my own inner child healing about 2 years ago, and I created my own little meditation, and I have it on my page, but I'm gonna repost it again because I just feel like a lot of y'all don't see my post for some reason, so I'm gonna repost it again. But it is a guided meditation thing that I wrote, and so you could take a screenshot, you could write it down, and you can use it during your meditation, because it is about you calling your power back. You are not a victim. You've gone through things, but you're stronger than that, okay? So the next one I think a lot of us also agree with is the sabotager or saboteur, however you say it. So this is a lot of self-sabotage energy. Runs away from opportunities and the sacred contract that can lead to happiness. Is frightened of life and good things, so turns away from them. So I feel like a lot of us go through self-sabotage, and that deals with not valuing ourselves and not knowing our worth. We feel like we're not worthy or we're not valuable enough to have beautiful things, to have things that bring peace and clarity. We think that we're supposed to be dealing with confusion and chaos and all types of things, and that's not true. You know, you're worthy of having things that come and, you know, fall into your lap, basically. And so it's like, you know, you hear people say, I'm afraid of success, and it's like, where does that come from? Well, if you break it down, like for me, I can say at one point, I said that. I used to say I was afraid of success, but that was just generalizing what the root of the problem is. It's not that I'm afraid of success. Let's get down to the bottom of it, / shadow work. I'm afraid of not knowing how to maintain and sustain success. What does that look like for me? That's what shadow work is. It's like taking that long sentence and breaking it down into an equation to understand the why. I'm not afraid of success. I'm afraid of maintaining and sustaining success. I'm afraid of disappointing myself or disappointing other people that are rooting for me. You know what I'm saying? So that can get into getting out of self-sabotage. That would be me definitely self-sabotaging, but I'm turning a page with the inner work. Yes. Okay. And back to you saying your sign is not your personality. Well, the signs do give characteristics of your personality, but it's not your identity in the sense of like making excuses. Your signs is not your excuses, because you have a whole chart and nobody else has your chart. So it's very specific down to who you are, but that does not mean that you make excuses for not doing the shit that you need to do. All right. The last one is the prostitute. This is my favorite archetype because it means something way deeper than what it sounds like. Let me find it. So it says the prostitute helps people face the parts of themselves that will negotiate their self-worth, gives their self away too much to gain pleasures that don't contribute to their well-being. We see that all over social media a lot of the times. We see that all over social media, entertainment, a lot of the times, doing things that compromise your integrity because you want the lifestyle, because you want to look like, you know, whatever. But like the way that you acquired that lifestyle, the way that you acquired that money, does that make your heart? What does that make you feel like? You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to think about that. You cannot disconnect away from your spirit when doing, what does it say? Why gain the world to lose your soul? Like, that's what the prostitute energy is like. And on the other side, I want to find it because I posted this on my story because it comes out of the book. Prostitute energy is also working at a job that you don't want to be at. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just doing it because you make good money. But it doesn't necessarily make you happy. But when you think about all of the things that it would require in order for you to not be in that space or not have that job or whatever, you might feel under pressure and be like, damn, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I make this amount of money. Do I really have the energy to want to do X, Y, and Z? You know what I'm saying? To maintain or sustain what I have for myself or whatever. You can also be a prostitute within a relationship. I don't want to be single, so I'm going to sit here and continue to be toxic with this person, knowing that me and this person are out of alignment, knowing that I've tried everything or we're trying everything and it's not working. But for the image and the look and the status, I would stay in this situation. The prostitute energy in this book talks about that a lot, about people staying with people just for that reason. So you basically pimping yourself out because you want a certain look, you want a certain image, but it's not necessarily lining up with your soul's mission. Okay, so it says your archetypes, and hey, hi Sage, you want to say hi? Come here. Say hi. Okay. How many of y'all can identify with any of these archetypes on here? You can drop the name of which one you feel like you identify with the most, or you can say all of them. I know for me personally, I definitely identify with all of them, especially in different phases of my life. Definitely, for sure. Which one of the archetypes do y'all agree with, or do you feel like you resonate with? Don't be shy, because I've been sitting here talking this whole time. Virgos, for sure. No, so yeah, but do you identify with the child archetype, the victim? Wait a minute. I'm trying to figure out which one, but I'm trying to see what addiction has to do with the shadow work. Oh yeah, so I'll pull up the other list. Addiction is major for shadow work because where is the addiction coming from? That's doing shadow work, is asking, where is the addiction coming from? A lot of times when you have an addictive personality, it's because you're dealing with escapism. You don't want to deal with the reality that you're facing. And so sometimes doing drugs or drinking excessively temporarily relieve you from the heaviness that you feel in this reality. So that's the shadow work right there. If you deal with or have dealt with any addiction, it's like, I'm going through this because I don't want to face something traumatic that I've gone through or just the reality that I feel. In astrology, a lot of times, signs that are, let me say this the right way. There can be certain signs and placements in your chart that show that you could be prone to escapism in some type of way. One could be Pisces, because Pisces deal with karmic energy in just a higher realm. Pisces are very spiritual. They're like the fairies of the zodiac. And I think that when you reincarnate into this existence with heavy Pisces placements, it does not feel good in this realm. Because you're trying to remember who you are. You're trying to clear out all this karmic energy from your family or whatever happened. And you can get lost on the mission and be like, it's just easier for me to go ahead and do, you know what I'm saying, for temporary relief. I have complexities to just finding out I was adopted within family. Thank you for sharing this. This is very like transparent, and I appreciate y'all for sharing this information. And I'm sorry that you experienced that. I believe I've always known deep down, and it caused complex separation anxieties and complex emotions, but now knowing it's helped. Yeah. So yeah, that was a major, and congratulations on like stepping into embracing, like, now I know this information. What am I going to do with this information moving forward? You know, but Pisces can deal with levels of escapism. Scorpio, because Scorpio deals with overindulging in things to the point to where it can become an addiction, whether it be drugs, whether it be overeating, whether it be sex. It can just deal with overindulging too much to where that becomes escapism. Even Virgo is heavy on the Mercury energy, and we are naturally a cerebral sign, so it can be very easy to fall into escapism through working a lot or through drinking, because Virgo's mind is always going so much. And sometimes the easiest thing for a Virgo placement to do is to ground themselves through alcohol. So that's one of the signs that could deal with alcoholism. Gemini also, because that's also a sign that's ruled by Mercury. And Gemini is just a very social sign, so they could get sucked into some type of form of escapism through drugs or drinking or whatever, just because they like to sometimes party, depending on the other placements as well. I'm not sorry to relieve my life makes a whole lot of sense now. I can release all the doubt and guilt and lack of self-worth. I love that. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for sharing that. So a lot of y'all said that y'all agree with all of these archetypes. And let me turn off the comments for a second so y'all can take a screenshot of it real quick. Okay. Y'all can take a screenshot. Okay, so a part of... Oh, let me pull up this other archetype list. Hold on, let me turn the comments, or no, hold on. So there are over 70 archetypes in this book. The 4 that y'all saw are just like the main 4 that everybody works with. And y'all can look this up. But yeah, so it's a whole list of these things. You can have a lover archetype, a god archetype, a fool archetype, an actor archetype, an addict archetype, an artist archetype. And there are positive aspects to all of these, and there are negative aspects to a lot of these as well. Oh, I just did my nails, y'all, and it's just so difficult to function. Oh shit, what did I do? Hold on. Wow. Okay, there we are. Why do I keep doing that? Oh my god. Okay. Sorry, y'all. Alcohol. I ain't boasting, but yes. Thank you for sharing that. That's transparent. Okay, so the ways that we can integrate the shadow is, first of all, acknowledging your shadow self. So what are the things that you feel like you struggle the most with? Is it easy? Are you a vulnerable person? You know, do you deal with abandonment issues? Do you deal with trust issues? And if you deal with any of those things that cause any type of chaos or isolation in your life, then that is you acknowledging the shadow self. Like your behaviors with dealing with abandonment, your behaviors with dealing with trust issues or whatever. So once you acknowledge that, then you learn about it. You start to do your own research. You write about it. Okay, well, I deal with trust issues because when I was a kid, blah, blah, blah happened and it made me feel this way. And because it made me feel this way, as an adult, I've grown up and I think that people don't mean what they say and I don't trust people or whatever. But is this beneficial for me to walk around feeling like I don't trust nobody? I noticed that a lot with men, particularly black men, have a major, well, we all have trust issues, but kind of like revel in the fact that they have trust issues. And plus the culture really enhances or hypes that type of energy up. Just like, I don't trust nobody. Like, it makes people feel this sense of power when it's like, nah, it's not really powerful to walk around feeling like everybody is trying to hurt you or whatever. And your behavior with doing so can wreck a lot of relationships in your life if you feel like you don't trust people. How are you ever going to really find your soulmate, really love somebody, really experience any type of freedom if you are dealing with the shadow aspect of not trusting? Same with abandonment issues. If you have abandonment issues, then that could deal with wanting to control situations, having codependency issues because you're afraid of being abandoned, or isolating yourself because you're afraid, pushing people away because you're afraid of allowing people to be close to you. That is a shadow aspect. Also, abandonment can lead to, well, I isolate myself. It can lead to some form of addiction as well. So my abandonment issues come from this situation. It made me feel this way. And because of that, I see how it's reflected throughout my relationships and my life. Okay? So first is acknowledge the shadow self. Second is to learn about it. The third is to embrace and have compassion for yourself. Understand that you're only this way because you were raised that way. Or you experienced something that traumatized you so much, it scared you so much that you created and developed an ego and a mask to get through your life. So once you reveal this, don't, tear yourself down and be like, damn, it might be ugly to reveal these parts of yourself. I know I have definitely done a good amount of shadow works where I'm like, ugh, that is not cute. That was real ugly of you to behave and act that way, for sure. And that can be terrible. That can be terrifying. Kendrick Lamar's song, This Time Around I Trust Myself, Please Everybody Else But Myself. What song is that? I care too much, want to share too much. Count Me Out. Kendrick Lamar's song Count Me Out is the perfect, if you listen to the lyrics in that song or read them, it's the perfect song about shadow work. His whole album is about shadow work. Even the song, Take It Off, the mask song, that's not about the physical mask. Of course, y'all probably already know, but about the many masks that we wear as humans to try to be whatever. And it's like, you ugly as fuck. Like, once those masks have been revealed, it's like, damn, like, you ain't all that you thought that you was. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a very terrifying thing, but don't stay in that space. Have compassion for yourself. Once those things are revealed, I know that this was just me trying to protect myself. Okay? Then we have face your fears. So number 4 is face your fears. basically facing the things that you're afraid of so that it doesn't have power over you anymore. If you have abandonment issues, okay, if I allow people to get close to me, what is the worst thing that could happen? All right, they might have entities on them because they haven't done their shadow work, but I'm not going to personalize it if they do something that hurts me or if they leave me because I'm whole by myself. I just wanted to experience you, and if the experience is over, it's over. Or, you know, you might be on the other side of codependency. Okay, well, why am I codependent? Okay, well, who am I outside of this person? If I let that go, then I won't be so controlling, and maybe I can truly enjoy and embrace this person and this experience for what I'm supposed to. Okay? Facing your fears. The fifth is take action. So taking action is basically everything that we're talking about, writing that down, and implementing it, applying it in your life. And then practicing forgiving yourself and forgiving others. Once you start to look at every situation that you've experienced and realize, man, I can't take this shit personal, because if that person did me wrong, that means that they were really in a lot of pain and a lot of hurt. And they were just reacting based off of what they were taught. This is the behavior and the mannerisms that they were taught to deal with certain situations that made them feel uncomfortable. Now, I'm not saying that you make excuses for something that is not good for you and you stay in a situation that's not good for you. But once separating from that situation, it's not like you're walking around here bitter and angry and just like, I hate this person because they did this. Like, you learn accountability in that situation as well. And again, you are attracting what you are. You know what I'm saying? So whatever you don't like in somebody else, you got to start to look at yourself and be like, what parts about me do I see in myself? I have done that, especially in relationships that I've been in. As me being a Virgo, I could be very self-critical and critical of others because I'm always observing. And during my observations, I could be like, I don't like that about you. But accountability is like, at one point, I used to behave like that. It's not you that I don't like, it's the behavior that I don't like, and I don't want to go back to that type of behavior. Or maybe you're seeing your behavior being reflected back to you for the first time ever. So you're like, you know what? Maybe we was brought together so that I could see this part of myself that I do not like, and now I'm going to go ahead and get my shit together because that's not cute. I'm getting to see it objectively. That's what a karmic relationship and a twin flame relationship will show you, is parts about yourself that aren't necessarily beautiful, but they can be healed. Okay? So yeah, practicing forgiveness. Now, Pluto retrograde is going to affect everybody differently based on their rising sign. So I'm just going to go through and tell you the house that it's going to affect you by. If you want to get a more in-depth reading, you can go on my website and get a transits reading, or you can get a natal chart astrology reading, or you can take my class. I also will probably do an in-depth report for, I'm going to do it. I got a lot of work to do, but I'm going to do it. An in-depth reading for each rising sign and how Pluto retrograde is going to affect you. You'll have to subscribe on my website to see the full report. But yeah, so if you are an Aries rising, thank you. If you're an Aries rising, this Pluto retrograde is transiting your 10th house. 10th house deals with career and status. So you might be really focused on your career right now and all of those good things. Something might be shifting in that area. You might be wanting to come out and start a new business or something like that. If you're a Taurus rising, it's transiting your 9th house, which is dealing with expansion of some sort. So you might be in a phase of learning something new or questioning, you know, your religious beliefs or your spiritual beliefs and figuring out what really works for you. If you're a Gemini rising, it's in your 8th house. This is your relationship to money, your relationship to power, your relationship to not manipulating certain situations to work in your favor. If you are a Cancer rising, like me, this Pluto in Aquarius is in your 7th house, which deals with relationships and business relationships as well. So you might see themes if you're in a relationship right now. This could either be a challenging time if you and the person that you with have not done the work that y'all need to be doing. So this could be a make or break time within your relationship where you like, I don't know, you know what I'm saying? Like you're starting to see things that you don't necessarily like, and either y'all are going to be adults and see if you can work through it, or you're going to realize and, you know, be adults and be like, this is, you know, we've served our purpose and we're going to walk away. And then when it comes to business, just really, you know, if you have your own business, really getting to through the ins and outs of your business and the people that you're working with. If you are a Leo rising, it's transiting your 6th house. So Leo rising, something with your health could be a thing. You might be getting into a new diet. You might be studying new ways, a new lifestyle, learning how to ground yourself a little bit more. You might be adding on or taking off some things. And you might be really dealing with something with your mental health as well during this time. And in ways of just like, I'm going to honor my mental health. Like, I'm not going to put myself in situations that give me anxiety, that make me sad. Or those situations might start to enhance a little bit more during this time because you have to learn how to advocate for yourself, stand up for yourself, and remove those things that aren't good for you. Routine is going to be very important for Virgo risings during this time. If you are, sorry, not Virgo, Leo risings. If you are a Virgo rising, this Pluto retrograde is transiting your 5th house, which is the house of creativity. This is dealing with inner child energy, and also if you have children, really pay attention to your children at this time. If you're Virgo rising, maybe learning something from them, maybe listening to them, their needs, you know, their perspective. Because again, if you are a parent, that is a sacred job. You are literally creating a world and a whole structure on the way that your child's brain is functioning, so when they grow up, they can be good humans. You know what I'm saying? So if you are a Virgo rising and you have children, really pay attention to that. This might be a time of doing inner child healing. This might be a time if you're trying to have a baby. It could be themes around that or healing from something around that. This can also be a time of just figuring out how to create things that you want. If you're a Libra rising, it's transiting your 4th house. So themes around your home, you know, either redecorating or relocating into a new space, or dealing with something with your family, or connecting deeply to your ancestors, dealing with matters when it comes to your mother, your maternal energy during this time. So the way that you find out your rising sign is you have to know what time you were born. And you could either get an astrology reading, or you can go on Google and just type in natal chart, put in your information, and it'll pull up your whole chart, which might be confusing, but it's either going to say your rising sign or your ascendant sign. So yeah, you have to know what time you were born to know your rising sign. If you're a Scorpio rising, this Pluto retrograde is in your 3rd house, which is Gemini. So this might be a time of you studying, being a student of something during this time. Speaking a little bit more during this time as well. And you might have things around your relationship with your siblings, if you have siblings, or people that you consider your siblings. Stuff might come up with that. I know, I'm sorry. I'm gonna figure some things out for you. It's another astrologer that I would talk to see about that. Okay, so This isn't gonna talk about your moon sign. This is specifically going by your rising sign. So, Sagittarius rising, this is in your second house. This is the house of values and possessions. So if you're a Sag rising, there might be themes around your relationship to things, possessions, things of that nature. Feeling like, do you feel like you have to have material things and wealth in order to love yourself, in order to be something, in order to feel liberated or sovereign? Do you feel like you need things? Pluto retrograde is going to show you that. Also, if there are things that you need to have been doing when it comes to your responsibilities, Pluto will make that shit speed up and be like, you knew that you were supposed to be taking care of this, so now I'm going to make it to where you got to take care of it. Okay? Doesn't fit my style. Okay, if you are a Capricorn rising, this Pluto retrograde is in your first house. So themes around your identity could be coming up. Who are you outside of, being a daughter or a son or a mother or father or whatever? Like, this is really you reaching a level of understanding and trusting yourself and knowing who you are. And this will get you down into the space of like, what is my purpose? What is my purpose? Once you figure out who you are, then you have the momentum and the energy to figure out what your purpose is in this life. And sometimes, because people be getting purpose confused with profit. Okay? Sometimes your purpose don't have nothing to do with profit. Sometimes your purpose could be, I got to heal some generational stuff that happened in my family and I got the call to do it. I got to change up, whatever. Like something like that. And then we have Aquarius rising. This is in your Aquarius. I wrote this down. It's in your 12th house. It's in your 12th house. So this is going to be about clearing out karmic energy. This is going to be about deepening your relationship to your spiritual practices and routine. This is going to be dealing with escapism energy as well. Escapism does not always look like drugs and alcohol. Escapism could be working too much, working out too much, trying to be perfect, trying to show up and be what everybody needs, making people codependent on you because you don't want to deal with yourself. So I'd rather focus on everybody else's needs because it distracts me from doing the work that I need to do for and with myself. Right? And then Pisces rising. This is in your 11th house. So this is going to be your relationship to your friendship circles. This is going to be your relationship to your dreams and your aspirations. What do you want out of life? This will be the theme for Pisces rising. It's time for you to go after the things that you want in your life, and you might be put in situations that are going to force you to finally believe in yourself and to finally go after your goals or your dreams. Or it could be quite literally paying attention to your dreams, healing. What are you doing in the dream realm when you go to sleep? What are you fighting? You know what I'm saying? What work is being done on that side, and what messages are coming through your dreams. This time around, I trust myself. Please everybody else but myself. I care too much or shit. Now I want to listen to that song. So, how do you guys feel? I have my 3-day tarot class coming up on May 8th. Come through, support your girl. Gift my class to somebody that wants to be in my class, that wants to learn tarot, that got a tarot deck and it's just collecting dust. Or somebody who has a tarot deck and they don't really feel comfortable knowing how to read. This is a great gift. I love doing these classes. My last class was beautiful. And I will be rolling out my astrology class very soon, because this is what we were talking about this whole night. You guys, also, because I talked about the archetypes, you can get this book. It's called Sacred Contracts by Caroline Myth. And yeah, this was my little presentation for tonight. I feel wonderful. This is a grand end to my damn week. Yes. Thank you for being so active in my live tonight. I appreciate feedback on here. That makes me feel really good and all of those good things. All those things. I'm never gonna be tired. I think I answered everybody's questions, but I hope y'all enjoyed my live tonight. I'm going to post this on my page. I love y'all, and yeah, if y'all have any questions, let your girl know what's good. I'm here. If y'all having a hard time, reach out to somebody. You can DM me. I try to get back to you, but if I can't, just know energetically and spiritually, I feel you. You are not going through anything alone. This is all for your personal transformation. I be having hard days too. I don't always be having the answers, and I just have to honor myself on those days. I'll be like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm sad today, and I'm going to let myself be sad. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to sit down, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to let myself sink into that dark, deep space, but with intention, because I'm only going to allow myself to be in this space for a day or two. And I also understand how these planets, affect us, and also other energy. If you are, a lot of us are empaths, but some of us a little bit more than others. Maybe people who have strong water placement. So if you're in a space where you're sharing space with a lot of people, you picking up on everybody's energy. You're like a human vacuum, and that can make you feel heavy. And there are ways of cleansing that, cleansing your space with the Florida water, with salt on the carpet, vacuuming it up, putting Florida water on you, taking spiritual baths, cleansing your hands with sea salt, just things like that. It's things to help to cleanse your aura and your energy. Imagining a white light all around you to cleanse yourself, and just speaking affirmations until your vibration starts to rise. There are a lot of things that you can do. Peace and love. Okay. So, for those who just joined, I'm going to save this live on my page because it was a whole little PowerPoint that your girl put together, okay? And y'all can reference back to this. And yeah, thank y'all for joining tonight.